It's no good trying to place your hand where I can't see, because I understand that you're different from me. Yes, I can tell that you can't be what you pretend, and you're rocking backwards and you're rocking towards the red and yellow mane of a stallion horse. Trying to hold your love where I can't see, because I understand that you're different from me. Yes, I can tell that you can't be what you pretend. The caterpillar hood won't cover the head of you. Know you should be home in bed. Holding a sequin fan where I can't see, because I understand that you're different from me. Yes, I can tell that you can't be what you pretend. Yes, you're spinning around and around in a car with electric lights flashing very fast.
They have entered and now left the building. The Globots, the entry of the Globots, Joe Meek from the concept album, I Hear a New World. And speaking of tragedies and casualties of the music business, Joe Meek would definitely have to be one of them, wouldn't you say, Richie?
Yeah, he'd be a contender for the number one spot, I think.
Well, we had Sid Barrett up there, but Joe Meek, a close second.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, for the ending of his life, in which he shot his landlady during an argument and immediately turned the gun upon himself. There was a lot of other unhappiness in his life, but that was about the unhappiest way you could imagine that it would end. He had his lighter side, though, as you could hear from that cut.
Yeah, that sounded like fun music. And apart from his homicidal and suicidal tendencies, what is his significance in the greater scheme of things?
He was a great innovator in the studio. The noises that you heard on that track, I mean, that didn't add up to anything really resembling a pop or a rock song. But if you're familiar with the instrumental hit Telstar from just a couple of years later, especially near the beginning of the track that we heard, a lot of those noises that kind of simulate an outer space kind of craft would be used on that really huge worldwide number one hit. And Meek was really a genius at getting those kind of effects in his records, not just really wild outer space effects, but getting a really strange compressed echo and really tinny piano sounds and backup voices which sounded like ghosts. And he didn't have really the greatest taste in material, which is one reason you wouldn't put him on the same level as someone like Phil Spector. But he was, in his way, almost as much of an innovator as Phil Spector in getting a sound where a record comes on and you can say, just like you can say, that's a Phil Spector record when you hear Be My Baby. You hear Telstar or Have I the Right by the Honeycombs, and you say that is a Joe Meek record, because no one else got sounds like that, and no one else can, even with the best technology today.
But it raises the question, I mean, Phil Spector had his share of personal demons, too. We all read Ronnie's book or certainly heard about it. It raises the question, is there something about these people who are able to hear things that other people can't hear that maybe is part and parcel? That's just part of the deal. There is an element of, maybe you can call it emotional instability or something that is kind of part of the deal, the mad genius. Sometimes that's just the way it is, isn't it?
I would agree. It's unfortunate that it has to manifest itself in some unhappy incidents in their personal lives. But to take Joe Meek as an example, he was, as is the stereotype for a bunch of these guys, you know, kind of a lone wolf who would spend hours and hours and hours trying to get sounds from his head that he could only hear in his head onto tape. And, you know, whether he got those exact same sounds, only he would know, but they didn't sound like anything anybody else was dreaming up at that point.
And he did think we would all live in outer space someday, right?
I don't know if he really thought that, but he was really taken with the idea of not just that humans might go to outer space someday, which unfortunately he didn't really live to see. He didn't live to see the moon landing, but also that when we found people from outer space, or they found us, they turned out to be rather benign forces, as you could hear in the track that we play, where they actually sound kind of like the Chipmunks. But
they sounded like fun.